What's up, beautiful people? This is David Lyon, founder of Evolving Men. And in this video, I want to talk about why so many men are struggling to get a clear sense of their purpose, to really feel inside of their bodies, what is it they're meant to do here? And so it's something that I've been thinking about a lot in the past few weeks. It's like there's something missing in most personal development, spirituality, men's work, whatever it is. In order for us to really find our deep sense of meaning, something needs to happen before. And that usually doesn't happen. And I'll try to come at this from a few different angles. One angle we might use is saying you cannot figure out your purpose mentally. And so that's what most of us are trying to do. It's like we're trying to ask ourselves, like, what is my purpose? What do I really want? What is important to me? What did I enjoy in childhood? And so on. And those can be interesting hints, but most probably the mindset that you have, the paradigms that you think in, are completely flawed. So it's basically like if you really want to find out your true purpose, you need to get rid of these paradigms first. You will not be able to figure out what your purpose is within these paradigms. So one paradigm might be, I'm not good enough as I am. I'm worthless, and so I need to deserve being worthy. And so then I get all these different ideas of, oh, what are honorable things to do in this world to deserve being worthy. But then your focus is always external, right? Then it's about what do I need to do to be seen in a particular way by others to feel good about myself. And that's kind of the opposite of purpose. For me, the sense of purpose is something that comes so deeply from within that ultimately I don't really care if anyone else applauds me. I think that's a big thing. You will not be applauded for living a life of purpose. You will not get that kind of admiration and appreciation that you might want to have. So that's kind of this part that I'm talking about when I say we need to get out of our own paradigms, out of our head, into the body. That's one of the reasons why I advocate so much doing practices that bring you. If you really get into the aliveness of your body, you're not in your conditioned mind. You're in a place that is more free and uncaged and creative. And so that's a place for me where I find a more clear sense of aliveness that leads me to my purpose. Now, another point or another angle about this is this. I found my purpose, or my purpose came to me to co-create a new culture of masculinity when everything that was important to me in my life before was falling apart. And so this element of death is something that we all avoid. We all want to have the really important, meaningful, ecstatic life, but are you willing to let the things that you're in right now that are giving you some sense of meaning, a little bit of structure and safety and stability, are you willing to let them die? Because if not, then you will probably not get to a different stage of purpose. Right? So it's, and again, that's kind of connected to what I said before about the paradigms. It's like, I really need to be willing to let my old paradigms die for something new to come. And that's the place that scares us all shitless. And so then we're kind of like, yeah, I want to live a life of purpose, but I'm not really willing to let go of the life that I have right now because, and that's true, I'm not being promised that the life that I will get will be so much better. So why should I let go of all these things? Why can't I wait with letting go of these things until something better arises and then I just jump over, right? And so again, there's this kind of avoidance of the importance of death. So, and death comes at so many levels. I mean, to just give you one very practical example, in my relationship, in my partnership, in order for it to be thriving and evolving, it constantly needs to die. My own images of how a relationship is meant to be, how I'm meant to behave, how my partner is meant to behave, it constantly, I need to And of course, I resist it all the time. It's not like I have understood this concept and now I apply it always perfectly. But I tend to see it earlier. Is when am I holding on to a particular way of being in relationship that doesn't seem to be working any longer? And that you can apply to any other part of your life. Like, how do you spend your 24 hours? Is that in alignment with how you want to live, or is it not? And if not, are you willing to let these things die? Let the structures and routines that you've built die? Is your job fulfilling you? If not, are you willing to let it die? Are your friendships fulfilling you? With all these things, and there's always this kind of this being willing to destroy the current life that you have in order for something new to arise. And so that's the piece where I see we're starting to look at this question of what is my purpose from a very crowded place inside of ourselves. And coming from a very crowded, loud, noisy place inside of you will not bring you the clarity of, now I see so clearly what it is that I want, because there's all the clutter in the way. There's all the stuff that you've accumulated over time that is making it very hard to listen clearly to what's important to you. So bottom line, what I want to share in this message is getting out of the head, getting into the body, doing stuff like the shaking practice that I've been advocating in the past few weeks, any other thing that gets you out of your habitual thinking. Because out of this thinking, you're never gonna be creative. It's always gonna reproduce the same shit. And then this ability to let things die, and they do anyway. That's the thing. We don't even need to, it's not even such an active thing that we do that I need to let this thing go. It's like, I just need to stop resisting when something starts leaving my life. So I start seeing more clearly, like, where am I holding on to something that's, I don't want to let it go. And even that is okay. Like, life forgives all of our mistakes. It's not like we have to do things perfectly, but just seeing the moments where it's clearly that life is pulling you in a certain direction, and then you're like, no, I don't want to go there. So that's the moment where there's obviously a struggle between, how do I say this? A struggle between what life is pulling you towards and what you need to let go on the way. And that's always going to be scary because death is scary. But that's the only place to, or that's the only way to find like a next layer, like a next level of depth, that I'm willing to let go of the things that I'm experiencing right now or that are in my life right now. All right, super curious how this lands in you. If you have any questions about this, okay, what are practical ways to do this? Whatever it is, I'm very curious to understand more like what your challenges with your purpose are. So do let me know in the comments. Share this if you resonate. And as always, with Evolving Men, you're seen, you're loved, you're appreciated. Keep evolving, keep dying, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.